In the heart of the 1960s, when the world was perched precariously on the edge of nuclear oblivion, the story of two agents, from lands divided by ideology but united by humanity, unfolded. This tale, set against the backdrop of the Cold War's chilling winds, begins with a series of events that could only be described as the Domino Effect. Agent Alexei Petrov was the epitome of KGB efficiency and loyalty. His tall, lean frame moved with a grace that belied his strength, his every attire meticulously chosen to reflect the seriousness of his role. Yet, beneath the surface of this suave exterior was a man who questioned the path his country was on, pondering the possible futures that lay beyond the Iron Curtain. Across the ocean, Agent Sarah O'Connor represented the best the CIA had to offer. Her fiery red hair was as much a statement of her personality as her ability to outthink and outmaneuver her adversaries. Despite the constraints of her time, she rose through the ranks, a testament to her unwavering resolve and sharp intellect. The world stage was set with General Viktor Ivanov, the stern face of Soviet military might, and President John Thompson, the charismatic leader of the United States, leading their respective nations. Unbeknownst to all, a shadowy group, a cabal of extremists from both sides of the divide, had set in motion a plan that would tip the scales towards a war that could end all wars. The dominoes began to fall when a top-secret document detailing the United States nuclear launch codes was reported missing, only to be rumored found in the streets of Moscow. The tension escalated when a Soviet submarine mysteriously disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle, with all signs pointing to American involvement. This series of misunderstandings and mishaps, though seemingly unrelated, pushed the two superpowers to the brink of war. Agent Petrov and Agent O'Connor, initially pitted against each other, found themselves in a frantic race against time. Their mission was clear: to prevent the ignition of a nuclear apocalypse. Their journey took them from the snow-covered streets of Moscow to the bustling avenues of Washington, D.C., and through the shadowy corridors of power where the fate of the world was decided. As they delved deeper, navigating through a maze of deceit, they uncovered the absurdity of the situation. A Soviet general who believed the Americans planned to control minds through television broadcasts. An American senator convinced that the Soviets had invented a weather-controlling machine. It was a world where truth was stranger than fiction, and yet it was this very absurdity that hinted at a greater manipulation at play. The turning point came in a derelict warehouse in Berlin, where Agent Petrov and Agent O'Connor, in a moment of unexpected partnership, discovered the lair of the extremists. The walls were adorned with plans that detailed how both sides would benefit from a war. For the extremists, chaos was a ladder, and a world in ruins was their kingdom to rule. With the clock ticking down, Petrov and O'Connor orchestrated a daring plan to expose the conspiracy. They leaked evidence to both General Ivanov and President Thompson, revealing the true enemy. As the realization dawned that the brink of war was not a natural escalation, but a carefully orchestrated trap, a last-minute communication between the superpowers averted disaster. In the aftermath, a covert meeting was arranged in a neutral location. There, under the wary eyes of their leaders, Petrov and O'Connor shared the stage. They spoke not of victory, for there was none in the shadow of what could have been, but of hope. Hope that in revealing the darkness, they had lit a small flame that, in time, could guide the world away from the brink. The domino effect, set in motion by malice, was halted by unity. Agent Alexei Petrov and Agent Sarah O'Connor, once adversaries, stood together as symbols of what could be achieved when humanity chose to look beyond its divisions. The world remained divided. The Cold War continued its silent siege, but for a moment, the possibility of peace shimmered like a mirage on the horizon. As the story of Petrov and O'Connor's unlikely alliance faded into the annals of history, it became a legend whispered in the halls of power, a reminder of the fragile line between peace and annihilation. It was a tale animated not just by the vibrant hues of a comic book, but by the bold colors of courage, the exaggerated features of hope, and the historical setting that reminded all of the cost of war and the priceless value of peace. In the end, the domino effect was not a cascade leading to destruction, but a chain reaction of events that brought the world back from the precipice, guided by the hands of two individuals who chose to believe in a future where their countries could exist not as enemies but as rivals, choosing to live in a tense yet hopeful coexistence.